The gratitude of the rabbit's ear. In the morning of the forest, where the grateful echo of the long-eared rabbit can be heard deep in the misty path, there lived a rabbit with very, very long ears. Every morning, the rabbit would think like this.
Why are my ears so long? It's okay if I don't hear good words. I end up hearing too much.
Thanks to Rabbit,
I found the acorn I dropped.
I was crying yesterday. Rabbit stayed by my side without saying a word.
That rabbit may not say much, but is kinder than anyone else.
Rabbit was surprised. I didn't know that the things I did would remain so warmly in someone else's heart. The rabbit's heart began to stir.
My ears were a vessel for gratitude.
From that day on, the rabbit began to quietly and carefully return the kind words it had heard. The rabbit's echo of gratitude started to spread.
Hedgehog, I was so glad I could be by your side that day. Squirrel, I was even happier that you found the acorns for me. Owl teacher, thank you for always watching over me from afar.
As those words spread, other animals quietly began to express their gratitude. From their hearts, gratitude has begun to color the forest.
You brightened my mood today, too.
It's a small thing.
But I wanted to share it too. The warmth in this forest.
Is the moment gratitude grows. I think gratitude is truly amazing. Even if you don't say it, it stays in your heart. But the more you express it, the more warmth spreads.
Now, I like my ears. I'm so grateful to be able to hear those thankful feelings. First, I'm really lucky.
Today, what gratitude is growing in your heart? 1. Have you recently felt grateful to someone? 2. Have you ever expressed that feeling in words? 3. Today, who is the first person you want to say thank you to? The gratitude of the rabbit's ear. Somewhere in the forest, there lived a bird called Fairypitta. The Fairypitta was a very special bird that changed colors several times a day.
Good morning, I'm feeling yellow today.
I feel like I can accomplish anything. The Fairypitta flies around following the sunlight, greeting its friends first. But as noon approached, the Fairypitta turned a shade of blue. Suddenly, my heart became calm.
The fairy ran in a soft voice. I want to take a break, I need a quiet place.
The friends are worried because they don't know why the fairy wren suddenly became quiet.
Why do you keep asking me? I don't know either.
The fairy wren, now red, gets annoyed and even argues with its friends.
Why are you so fickle?
It's hard to trust you because you change several times a day.
The Fairypitta murmurs to itself while spreading its wings alone at the edge of the forest.
Yellow represents courage. Blue represents depth. Red represents passion. Isn't it like my own rainbow that reveals different colors each day?
At that moment, the squirrel approaches and says,
I love your colors. Thanks to you, I feel different every day. It's amazing, wonderful, and truly alive.
The pheasant lifts its head and looks at the squirrel while smiling.
Thank you, I want to love my colors too.
Quietly sits with calm feathers, but its gaze shines and is warm.
Today I have lived in 8 colors. That must mean you truly felt the day.
At that moment, the owl teacher quietly approaches and says,
Fairypitta, you are very special. Not everyone lives in just one color. Having various colors within you is a blessing.
But everyone says I'm confusing.
You're learning how to use each color, and that's a wonderful thing that anyone can't do.
That night, under the starlight, the pallets quietly sat on a branch. A gentle breeze passes through the fluttering feathers and the 8 colors that lived today. Quietly settle in my heart. I am a Fairypitta. Yellow courage, blue contemplation, red passion, purple imagination, all of them. Come together to create me. Each one is precious. I'm not fickle, I live in a colorful way. The fairy rasa slightly spreads. What color will I shine in tomorrow? I'm really looking forward to it. A star twinkled above the fairy rasa's head. Today, the fairy ras also sparkled, just like a fairy ras should. Question notebook. 1. What color of emotion was I today? 2. How did I express that emotion? 3. How well do I understand the various sides of myself that exist within me? I shouldn't have opened that box. The elephant Noah's memory. The old elephant Noah was sitting down. His eyes were dim and his steps were heavy, but his heaviest burden was the unspoken memories in his heart. Noah discovered a small wooden box. Between the roots of a tree, he carefully opened the box. Inside the box were old pieces of cloth, dried leaves, and faded feathers. Noah brought each one to his nose and recalled very old memories. The smell of dry grass, the breath he felt while leaning against his mother elephant's back, feathers from the forest where he played with childhood friends, the sound of laughter as they blew feathers around, a piece of cloth, an awkwardly stitched handkerchief from when his first love departed, acorn shell, the forest where he first left with his father, and very old memories flooded back.
I wasn't forgetting, I was just in too much pain.
And then a clear tear rolled down Noah's cheek. It was not sadness, but rather a moment when memory and sensation reunited, like a bead of light. That night, Noah did not close the box. Sometimes memories become so heavy that we pretend to forget them on purpose. But these senses are precious. Smells, sounds, and textures become the keys to unlock those memories, guiding us towards healing. Shouldn't we have opened that box? Question notebook. 1. What is the oldest sensation you can recall? 2. What memories does that sensation evoke? 3. If you were to bring out the forgotten pieces within you, what emotions would arise?
I shouldn't have opened that box.
Are you stopped like this watch by any chance? The real story told by a stopped clock. Once upon a time, there was a small clock shop in a little village. In the corner of that shop, there was a small clock that had stopped. While all the other clocks are ticking away diligently, this little clock hasn't moved at all.
Why can't I move like my other friends?
There were really many clock friends living in the clock shop. Big and small table clocks were all happily ticking away.
Hey there, it's the clock's job to measure time. So why are you stopped? Is this little clock really broken? Or is there some other special reason?
I don't know either why I'm stopped.
A little boy was passing by the store. He discovered the stopped clock through the glass window.
Mom, look at that clock. It looks like it's sleeping.
Something really amazing happened all of a sudden. As the child looked curiously and spoke, the hands of the clock moved slightly. It was as if it was saying, "Yeah, I'm just resting." A few days later, an old clockmaker came to fix the clock.
Oh dear, this clock wasn't broken. It was just taking a little break. Sometimes taking a break is necessary.
The master carefully lifted the small clock. That night, the little clock had a dream. In the dream, the clock realized that going fast isn't the only good thing. That going slowly and taking a break is also okay.
Now I understand. I wasn't broken. I just need to go at my own pace.
And tick-tock, the little clock started moving again. The next day, the little boy came back.
Wow, the clock is smiling.
The little clock has started ticking away the time in its own rhythm. Do you also feel stuck right now? It's okay. That's not a malfunction. We're preparing a special time just for you all. It's okay to take a break. Question notebook. 1. Am I currently living in my own rhythm? 2. What reason led you to have a moment of pause? 3. When is your special time?
Are you stopped like this watch by any chance?
It's 3 a.m. Capybara. Why are you still awake? The secrets of the heart discovered on a sleepless night. On a calm lake while everyone else was asleep, the capybara Luna was changing her position for the 21st time by the water's edge. The moonlight wrapped around her soft fur, but Luna's heart remained chilly.
I hope everyone is sleeping well. Why am I awake all alone like this today?
A short sigh from a monkey, an awkward greeting from a penguin, and a glance avoided by a sloth, all piled up small in Luna's heart. She pretended to be relaxed all day, but when night came, those fragments surfaced more vividly than dreams. Luna attempted to count the bubbles by the water's edge.
1, 2, 3. Why did the fourth bubble pop?
The imagined bubbles just hovered in the air. Following Luna's anxiety, they simply floated lonely on the lake. Suddenly, a long-forgotten memory came to mind. When she was young, the sound of her mother's heartbeat was the warmest and most consistent rhythm in the world. But now she had to embrace herself alone. There was a small letter placed on the stone by the water. It was a note left by the fox sage that she had met in the morning.
Luna, always be careful and look around you, so you feel more and worry faster, but don't worry too much. It's okay, you're safe. Let's play in the water together tomorrow afternoon.
Luna held the letter tightly and placed it on her chest. It felt like someone's breath, bringing silent comfort that wrapped around her.
Am I too sensitive? Even small things make my heart sway like waves.
But that feeling wasn't just loneliness. The ability to feel is, in fact, the courage to deeply understand someone. The monkey's brief smile, Sage's gestures, and that one line letter began to wrap her heart like warm water. Just before falling asleep, Luna muttering to herself,
It's okay. I'm learning to find stability again in this very place.
1, 2, this time the bubbles floated slowly on the lake. Luna finally closed her eyes quietly with them. In the night sky, more stars began to rise one by one, and the lake was filled only with deep breaths. That night, Luna peacefully soothed her anxieties and fell asleep more peacefully than anyone else. Question notebook. Do I also tend to think a lot every night? 2. When I feel anxious, do I have a little routine that calms my mind? 3. Today, who can tell me it's okay? 3 a.m. Capybara. What are you doing awake? The hippo's tears. A village near a swamp with frequent rain. Somewhere in the swamp village, there lived a quiet and large hippo. He was always slow and silent, so some called him the expressionless hippo. The friends in the forest were gathered and talking.
I made a mistake again today. I feel so foolish.
No one listens to me.
I've been so tired lately, but I pretend to be okay.
The hippo sat quietly beside them, nodding without saying a word, but its heart felt deeper than anyone else's. It was listening slowly, gently, and deeply to the words, breaths, and even the unspoken feelings of its friends. One day, the weather was clear, but raindrops were falling only around the hippo.
That's strange. Hippo, it only rains around you.
Hippo, are you crying?
Until that day, no one had ever seen the hippo cry. The hippo cry. But strangely, there was always a small drop of water falling where the hippo was sitting. The hippo's eyes were wide open, tears were not visible. The hippo didn't shed tears from its eyes, representing the pain of others. It seems memories of past friends' sadness came to mind. The owl teacher approached and said,
A hippo doesn't listen with its ears, but with its heart. The reason the hippo sheds tears all over its body is that it has a heart that can shed the tears its friends cannot.
Hippopotamus, I never knew you were always so quiet. You were carrying the sorrow of all of us.
The friends came and sat quietly next to the hippo. Just sitting there became a comforting touch for the heart. Under the evening glow, a hippo is looking at its reflection in the water. A sad heart approaches more quietly than sound, so the hippo's tears were not for itself. It was the heart crying for someone else. Question notebook. Today's heart question today. Was there any silent sadness around me? Am I ready to listen to someone's heart? Whose tears have I shed for, and whose sadness can I listen to? A sloth learns to say no. It's okay to be slow. How to protect my heart. A story about a good sloth. The sloth was the slowest friend. The sloth was the slowest friend in the forest, and also the kindest. No matter what anyone asked, the sloth always said this.
Oh yes, of course. I'll help you. Actually, it's a bit hard.
But his friends were always comfortable because the sloth helped them. But the sloth was getting more and more tired.
Is this my fault?
One day, the rabbit asked him to help move the treehouse. He had just built.
It will be perfect if you just help me.
Yeah, right.
But the treehouse was too heavy, and the sloth slightly twisted its leg. That night, the sloth lay in bed and mumbled.
Why is it always so hard for me? Why can't I say no like this?
The wise owl teacher quietly approached and said,
What you think is kindness is actually losing yourself.
But I'm afraid that if I say no, I will be hated.
Refusing doesn't mean the end of a relationship, rather. It's the beginning of taking care of your own heart. Shall we practice together? Let's start by saying
no with small refusals.
The next day, the squirrel said,
Sloth, can you help me clean my house today?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit tired today.
The squirrel looked surprised for a moment, but then smiled.
Ah, that's okay. Let's do it together next time.
For the first time, the sloth felt at ease after saying no. A few days later, the friends ask again. This time, the sloth says this.
I'll take a break today, so I can take care of myself. But I think it would be nice to be together next time.
That night, the sloth spent a day for the first time, without feeling sorry for itself. Refusing is an uncomfortable word, but it's also a practice to truly protect myself by being mindful of my feelings and maintaining my own pace. I carefully practice saying no each day as well. Question notebook. 1. Have I ever forced myself to fulfill someone's request recently? 2. How did my body and mind feel at that time? 3. Right now, is there a situation where I need to say no?